Hello, Project Ice Cream! Hi, my name is Connor, but around these parts I go by Idiot Rhino. Yes, I said Idiot Rhino. I figured before I get started on this series, I should tell you that my favorite flavor of ice cream is homemade Rocky Road. Now, I've been told that the topic for this week is music, and our lovely Teabag has asked me to start it off. And started off with quite a question. And that question is, how can music, or art in general, be considered good or bad? I'm paraphrasing, but you get the idea. The question here is, how can something that is so objective, something that one person can really love this kind of music or this particular piece of art, and one person can absolutely hate that exact same piece of art? It is so subjective that you just really, how can you objectively say when something is good or bad? Now this gets into a couple of different issues, but I'll start off by a couple examples. For one, when a guitar is out of tune, it is going to sound bad. That's absolutely simple. It's objective, music is subjective, but out of tune is objective. But it's still music. Even if it's out of tune, it's still technically music. But then it is objectively bad. For example, if I go over to this acoustic guitar here, which is very bad out of tune. No matter how good I am at playing guitar, and I'm not so good anymore, I used to be, but no matter how good I am, playing that at the best of my ability will be objectively bad. There's a simple answer for you on that one. But the rest of it honestly really is up to you. Once something is in tune and objectively good, you can look at it and say some people will enjoy it and some people won't. Now, you're getting into the point where there are going to be certain critics who will say it is objectively good and bad, like comparatively to other things. For example, if you were to put together an entire album of 12 songs and each one was the same exact chord progression, say a 1, 4, 5, 6 basic progression in any key, then people are going to say you wrote the same song over and over again, and therefore that album is bad. Now, each individual song might be fine on its own, but the fact that you put it that way, and they're all so similar, and there's really no differences between them, then objectively, isn't that album bad? Because technically, you spent all that time making one song over and over and over again. And of course you get into the science of music. You can look at the ways that music affects the brain is phenomenal. Music has been studied by not only psychology, but also just actual hardcore science, looking at how our neural pathways and networks and how our brain responds to different kinds of music. It's phenomenal. Certain kinds of music will have different effects on the human brain. That's why they actually tell you, and there is a reason behind it, when your kids are in their developmental stages, play classical music for them, and the chances are they're going to be smarter, or at least have a natural tendency towards learning. I'm trying to keep this short so that I don't make it long and drawn out on this one, but essentially when it comes to music, it really is a very subjective thing, but there are parts of it that are objective, and really the argument's still out there. No one is ever going to agree. It's always going to be different, and people are always going to have something different to say about that, but that's that. My thing is, music is my favorite thing in the world. It has meant something to me all my life. There's definitely music that I hate out there, but there is music that I absolutely and positively love. It is completely subjective on what you might or might not love. Now, I am very confused. I have heard of a few cases of people that just generally didn't like music. Like anything. They had never found any music they enjoyed or got into, and that to me is mind-blowing. I can't imagine that. In fact, I would almost say science says that's impossible because the way music affects our brains. But then again, maybe that's some sign of, not a mental disorder, but maybe that is a sign of there's something in your brain that works differently than mine. The average brain is pretty much programmed to like and enjoy music. I would argue that perhaps someone who says they don't like music, maybe they've just not found the right music, or maybe their brain just is different than mine. Who knows? I love music. It's beautiful. It really has had an effect on my life, and without it, I don't know where I would be. That's music for me. What's music for you? You guys tell me the rest of this week. I've been Idiot Rhino, and this is Project Ice Cream. Maybe I'll see you again.